Just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, the medicine go down, the medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Good evening and welcome. You're watching this quiz in English with me, Hayley Edmonds. And tonight the theme is, of course, Mary Poppins. With Mary Poppins Returns just out recently in the cinemas, I thought, why not do a Mary Poppins special and pay ode to that wonderful nanny that was Mary Poppins. Initially incarnated by Julie Andrews, well, there's another British actress, I won't mention because it's going to come under question, who's going to reincarnate her in Mary Poppins Returns that is recently out in cinemas. And tonight, there are 9 questions between you and you winning €500. Yes, there are €500 up for grabs tonight in this quiz in English. Now, 9 questions. Each question is allocated a certain number of points from question number 1, which is worth 10 points, right up to question number 9, which is worth 100 points. And to make things that little much easier for you, well, we give you 4 jokers, 2 multiple jokers, so 1 joker that will times the point score by 3 and another by 5, and 2 that will take away 2 wrong answers per question. So if you're playing strategically, well, you put those jokers down on the last 3 questions. And for those of you who get maximum points, 960 to be precise, well, we give you an extra €50. So let's test our Mary Poppins knowledge in this special quiz in English. Question number 1. Who plays the role of Mary Poppins in Mary Poppins Returns? Is it Emma Stone? Is it Amanda Seyfried? Or is it Emily Blunt? Or Emilia Clarke? Who plays the role of Mary Poppins in the recently released Mary Poppins Returns? She's, as I said before, she's incarnating or taking over the role of Julie Andrews, who did it so well in the 1960s. And it was there were big boots to fill, as she said herself. It was nominated for 5 Oscars, the original film. And who knows, with Oscars coming up next year, maybe it might get... Well, 5 would be extremely good. So the right answer is Emily Blunt. Yes, a British actress, Emily Blunt, is now Mary Poppins in Mary Poppins Returns. Let's check out the statistics on that question, how well you guys did. 46% of you got that one correct. 16% of you thought it was Amanda Seyfried. 22% of you thought it was Emma Stone. And 15% of you thought it was the Game of Thrones actress Emilia Clarke. Sarah, you got that one correct. Well done. Let's go to question number 2. Who put on a Cockney accent to play Bert in the original film? Is it Dick Van Dyke? Was it Burt Reynolds? Was it Kirk Douglas, or was it Steve McQueen? Now, just for the anecdote, he actually comes back in Mary Poppins Returns and has a little feature, a small role. He doesn't obviously play himself because there's about 60 years between the original and his first time round playing it. The right answer was Dick Van Dyke. He played the chimney sweep, chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo, and was voted for the worst accent when he took on a Cockney accent. Now, Dick Van Dyke is actually American, so, you know, us Brits didn't take it lightly. So Dick Van Dyke, let's go over to the statistics so we'll see how well you guys did. 50% of you got that one correct. 15% of you got confused with Burt. It was not Burt Reynolds, although I'd like to have seen him play the role. 17% of you thought it was Kirk Douglas, and 18% of you thought it was that American star from Bullitt, Steve McQueen. Sarah, once again, you got that one correct. Only 7% of you used your jokers on that question, so I can see you're probably keeping in your pockets for the last questions. Question number 3, I opened with it. So what does a spoonful of sugar do? Does it? A spoonful of sugar makes the children go to bed? Or does it tidies the house? Or does it make you dance? Or does it make the medicine go down? What does a spoonful of sugar do? Now let's go back to that, the scene where Mary Poppins tries to convince the children to take the medicine. How does she do it? A little bit of sugar. Here we go. What does she do? She makes the medicine go down. Yes, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. I'm not sure the Dentistry Association would approve of that, Mary, but if it was effective and if the children were better, then all the better, as I say. Statistically, 45% of you got that one correct. 17% of you thought it makes you dance. 13% of you thought it tidies the house. That would be ideal. In fact, I'd be flipping eating loads of sugar if it meant that. And the rest of you thought it was makes the children go to bed. Let's move on to question number 4 of this quiz in English on Mary Poppins. Who directed Mary Poppins Returns? Was it Yarrow Cheney? Was it Rob Marshall? Was it Joel Schumacher? Or was it Steven Spielberg? Now, who directed the new version of Mary Poppins Returns, who has just recently come out in cinema? In fact, they had the premiere in London the other day with Emily Blunt at home, should we say, and happy to be there. Although she did say that, as I said earlier, those were some big boots to fill, taking over from Julie Andrews. The right answer was Rob Marshall. Now, the story goes is that apparently he calls her up and he's like, Emily, I've got this role for you, and you are the first person I want to play his role. And he was so convinced of his coup, should I say, that she said yes. And why not? What a wonderful role to play. 50% of you got that one correct. It was, of course, Rob Marshall. 17% of you thought it was Yarrow Cheney. 14% of you thought it was Batman director Joel Schumacher. And 18% of you thought it was a Jurassic Park, Goonies, legendary director Steven Spielberg. Let's move on to question number 5. How old was Dick Van Dyke when he played in the original film? Now, take this up minds back. When he was playing Bert Chimney, how old was he? Was he 32? Was he 33? Was he 37? Or was he 27? Now, how old did Dick Van Dyke look? It's a jolly old day with Mary. Mary makes you feel so grand. Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Right, the right answer is 37. He was 37. Doesn't look it in the film. Yeah, come on. It must have been an old way of filming, because he definitely doesn't look 37 in the film. And he actually was at the premiere after having starred in the recent Mary Poppins Returns. 90 years old, still full of beans. There we go. Dick Van Dyke is an example for us all. 35% of you got that one correct. 27% of you thought he was 33. 22% of you thought he was 32. And 16% of you thought he was 27. So let's move on to question number 6. The Banks family live on which road? Is it Cherry Tree Lane? Is it Strawberry Fields? Is it Orange Street? Or is it Plum Street? The Banks family that Mary Poppins goes to look after live on which road in London? They're all kind of a very fruity theme going on here. We want to know which one that they lived on when she fell from the sky, came from the sky, floated down from the sky on her umbrella, and arrived in Cherry Tree Lane. Yes, Cherry Tree Lane. 46% of you got that one correct. 83% of you used 50-50s. Oh, that was a hard one for you guys. 14% of you used your times 3 jokers, and 12 of you used your times 5 jokers. Hishman Goyam, you used your times 5 joker on that, so well done. Let's move on to question number 7. Who plays Topsy, Mary Poppins' crazy cousin, in Mary Poppins Returns? Is it Meryl Streep? Is it, we spoke about that earlier, Dick Van Dyke came back, but did Julie Andrews, or does she, play in Mary Poppins Returns? Is it Helen Mirren, or is it Emma Thompson? Who plays Topsy, Mary Poppins' crazy cousin in Mary Poppins Returns? There's also a guest role of Angela Lansbury plays in it as well. So they've got 2 non-oopla, 90-year-olds playing in that film, which is great. The right answer is Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep plays Topsy, Mary Poppins' crazy cousin. Now, we were talking about Oscars earlier. Are they going to manage to get as many as the original Mary Poppins? Well, Meryl Streep has a few Oscars in her pocket, so I wouldn't see why not. I'm not sure playing Topsy would merit that. Haven't seen the film. Maybe it does. But she, with her presence, sort of makes any kind of film Oscar-worthy. 65% of you got that one correct. 11% of you thought it was Julie Andrews. 10% of you thought it was Helen Mirren, and 14% of you thought it was Emma Thompson. Now, 207 of you used your times 5 on that one, your jokers on that. Now's the time to lay them down, guys, because it's 80 points each question now, and question number 9, 100 points. So, question number 8, what did Helen Linden Goff write? What did she write? The screenplay? The script? She wrote the Mary Poppins books? Or did she compose the score? What did Helen Linden Goff write? Now, what did she write? There's quite a selection there, from the screenplay to even writing the Mary Poppins books. Or did she compose the score? The score's the music, which apparently this time round, it's not, the tunes aren't as catchy, may not be, you know, we won't probably be singing them in 6 years' time, but there's a nice selection. Did Helen Linden Goff write them? Well, the right answer, or no, she didn't write them. That is one of the answers. She wrote the Mary Poppins books. Yes, the woman we know as Pamela L. Travers. She changed her name when she came over from Australia. She was born in Australia, came over to the UK, and changed her name to Pamela L. Travers. She is the writer of the Mary Poppins books, and so thus she wrote the Mary Poppins books. So, statistically, 61% of you got that one correct. I see a lot of you, 909 of you used 50-50s. 381 of you used your times 5, and 480 of you used your times 3. Whoa, putting out the jokers now. Josie Rodriguez, you got that one correct. Let's move on to the final question of this quiz in English on Mary Poppins. What was Walt Disney's favourite song in the original Mary Poppins? Was it just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down? Was it supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious? If you say it fast enough, it may sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Or feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Or it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes you feel so grand. So which one, guys? I've even given you a kind of a good singing exemplar. Which one would he have preferred? Sir Walter Disney. Oh, which one did he prefer? Now, just for the anecdote again, it took 4 years of negotiation between Walt Disney and Pamela L. Travers to make a movie adaptation of the books. And it turns out she didn't even like the adaptation anyway. Oops. And let's get on to statistics, guys. The right answer is Feed the Birds. And how we know that? Because Dick Van Dyke said it himself recently, that was Walter Disney's favourite song. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. And a lot of you got out your 50-50s, 1,167 to be precise. 800 of you used your times 5s. And Jennifer Fernandez Paccio, you got that one correct, so well done. 10% if you thought it was Jolly Holiday. 23% if you thought it was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and 10% if you thought it was a spoonful of sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see how well you guys did. 552 of you got more than 400 points, which means you'll be sharing 500 euros amongst you, which equates to how much per person? Et combien per personne? 91 cents. So 552 of you will be taking home 91 cents. And for the super winners tonight, there are how many? 81 of you. You'll be taking home €1.52 for answering questions on Mary Poppins of a Saturday evening. I couldn't think of much better than that to do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quiz. Don't forget to check onto Be The One Facebook page. Tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. Give us some quiz ideas, what you'd like to see, what you'd not like, what you don't like to see. And you speak, we listen, as we have done before. So thank you very much for following me tonight in this quiz in English. I'll be back on Monday for another quiz on Be The One. Until then, it's a jolly holiday with Hayley. Hayley makes you feel so grand. Thanks and bye.